Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today I'm really excited to bring to you from the Transformers Retro 40th Anniversary line. This is Soundwave. Now, let me just start off by saying uh, everybody at this point should have some version of Retro Soundwave. Just counting off the top of my head, I'm going to say this is probably not counting the original, but let's see. The fourth reissue of Soundwave I've gotten. And keep in mind, that's not all the reissues. There's been like at least one, maybe two. I know Walmart just had one a couple years ago, and I passed on that. Um, Needless to say, I think I'm confident in saying that Soundwave is one of the most, if not the most popular G1 toys. Um, from its original release in the micro change line before Transformers in like 1982 or something, it was in production between the US and Japan to like 1988. In the US, Soundwave was available from 84 to like 86. Now here's the caveat. At that point, the mold was retooled and turned into Sound Blaster in Japan. So that's where it can actually go all the way to 88. Now, a few things to note is if you had the original 1984 Soundwave, you had Decepticon sticker on the front, and you had a different cassette door, one that looked more like a proper uh, micro cassette door. This version, as well as all the ones released in 1985, are a revision that Takara did. Now in Japan, they included a clear case for the cassettes and um, a pair of headphones. They weren't functional, but they were there. But the big thing they did is changed how the cassette door works. Now, as I said, on the original, the hinges were up here. Now that led to some breaking, so they actually redid the whole front here, took away the functional buttons, made it one flat piece, well, not flat, but one solid piece, and put the hinge down here. Now, I thought that was just done for the Sound Blaster mode, but this is from 85 on. This is what Soundwave looked like, and they also replaced the Decepticon insignia sticker with the rub symbol. So, if you see vintage Soundwaves um, that look like this, you probably have one of the later 85 and on models. Also, I thought maybe that was done when they started reissuing them, but not so. And there's a couple other changes which we'll get to when we get into the robot mode. But this is the microcassette mode. This set does include Laserbeak, Ravage, all the weapons, uh, Laserbeak's neutered lasers, and three of these, what were originally missiles but ended up becoming the tip for the laser gun. Um, and they're all done now in an animation accurate paint scheme. So in a way, this is a companion to the Transformers the movie G1 releases we were getting last year that had the softer, brighter animation paint schemes. And in the case of Hot Rod, we finally got a accurate Hot Rod. Um, in cassette mode, as you just saw, the door does function. Laserbeak is in the chest. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have seen the double door here since they were including two cassettes. And let's be honest, Soundwave launched multiple cassettes, so it would make sense. But looking at the packaging, the plastic is, the window is right up against the front here. So there is that. But you still have the working little slider here and this knob right here. So in a way, this was like an early version of a fidget toy. And you have a working belt clip, and that's the opening battery door where the weapons are stored. We'll see that in transformation. But it's like a fidget toy. And I think that's one of the reasons why Soundwave proved to be so popular. Um, I mean, really, it's one of the best toys of the 1980s. And I mean, there were different releases in Japan. They released Soundwave uh, with a different cassette minion. Interestingly enough, I think only in Japan did they ever release Soundwave with Laserbeak. In the US, you always had to get Laserbeak with in a two-pack with Ravage. But I think enough of that jibber jabber. Let's pause and we'll get into the transformation. One of the things I like about Soundwave is in that era of Transformers, especially the first 2 years, the toy is one of the few that has a perfect transformation where you the hands, the feet, the head are all integrated into the alt mode. Start off, you want to open up the sides here, and I'm sure all of you know how this transformation works. And just want to bring down the legs ever so slightly, bring it forward like that, rotate it forward. Still has the die cast metal bar, and I'm pretty sure these feet are still die cast metal. And I'm not sure if these are the right ones, but I know that there were stickers that were intended to go on the batteries that ended up being used on the legs. I guess Hasbro wanted to have a different design, but bring that down, bring it forward, bring the feet out, and there you have Soundwave standing. Bring the camera back a little more. There we go. Come around, bring the arms out. Same thing. Die cast metal hinge arms. Now, this is where you're going to see one of the other differences in the 85 model as I slide the fist out. Little slider here. And that's, you have this rectangular gap in the fist. They redid the arm and the slider that brings the fist out just a little bit more. The original toy, it stopped like right about there, I would say. So that locks into place. Finally, bring the head up. And there's one of the selling points right there, that new head. Well, it's not a new head, it's just repainted to look more like the animation model. And yes, of course, this is, as you can see from here to here, the difference in um, the origins of the Decepticon symbol. So there's that. And finally, what you want to do is slide open the battery door. You can actually do this at any point you would like. Bring out the batteries. And this one is his shoulder cannon. They did paint in the Gatling unit. Bring it up there. And this, you can pull it out, and this will form the handgun. Now, this is where, unfortunately, a little bit of parts forming comes in. You got to insert the missile there to complete the tip. And that'll peg right in. And there you go. There's Soundwave in its robot mode. Shoulders, elbows, reverse knees, uh, functioning legs of some sort. Don't want to strain it too far, but for the day, this was a very articulated figure. And now let's quickly take a look at Ravage. Ravage, unfortunately, loses a lot of the cassette detailing, and I'm not really sure what's the front, what's the rear in terms of when you put it in, but uh, start the transformation. Again, Ravage we've looked at a lot because Ravage has been reissued quite a few times with different releases and what have you, but bring the feet down, flip out the tail, flip out the head. Again, still die cast with the legs, and again with the cassettes. And unfortunately, there's no way to store the weapons on Soundwave like you do with the Masterpiece mold. But the rocket boosters, the missiles, there you go. And, you know, Ravage can stand, I think, a little bit. Let me just make sure I get the feet right. Yep, it can stand. I'm just going to put it off to the side, though. Oh, wait. And it's, oh, there we go. It's interesting that it can stand like that. And of course, let's open the cassette door again and bring out Laserbeak, one of the stars of the show. And if I got to be honest, for the price, which was a little over $40, or actually closer to 50, I think they should have included the blue cassette as Rumble, because really for those first 2 years, the cassettes really were Laserbeak, Ravage, Rumble. So I mean that's just me. Uh, bring the wings up like so. Bring the feet down, very careful, just like that. Bring this whole section back and finish folding out the wings, and then come in here with your thumb. Bring out the head. There's Laserbeak again. The die cast I think is still there. This plate section, and then of course add on the neutered blasters. That's a shame that they cut them short. And it was only for this most recent re-release of the Laserbeak Buzzsaw mold. But there you have Laserbeak. Not bad. Um, you can kind of get it to sit on Soundwave's forearm. Let's see if I can. I mean, it's not supposed to, but you can do it. I mean, just it's not friction or anything. It's strictly balance. But yeah, all in all, I mean, this set it's about the colors. It's about matching the cartoon. And I'll be honest, I don't see them doing a release that will entice me to buy another Soundwave. I think this will be my last reissue of G1 Soundwave, and I think it's a perfect way to go out. And you know what? Let me just bring these cassette guys off to the side, and let's quickly bring in Missing Link Optimus Prime. And you can see now, because again, even though this is a new mold, uh, Missing Link Prime is still the same size as G1 Prime, so you can see the differences. And I think for a lot of people, um, this was the conflict that they had, because for if you didn't get it right away, it was very hard to get Megatron. So I think just based on the popularity of Soundwave, the de facto Decepticon leader in our living room battles. But nice looking figure. Now, of course, the question becomes now, what could they do um, for a missing link Soundwave? And to be honest, I'm not sure. First of all, I think it would have to be a proper set with sound for the price it would go for, with Soundwave and the cassettes. And if they could do like an animation accurate Laserbeak with the wings, proper head, the integrated thrust, like basically a G1ified version of the Masterpiece cassette. Same thing with Ravage. That would be good. Um, and with Rumble and Frenzy, I mean, somehow work knees in. I don't know. Now with Soundwave here, um, maybe a different head, uh, articulated hands. Definitely, and they've done this before with, I believe, the MP3 player Soundwave, a blaster that has the tip integrated in. Heck, I think we just saw something like that with the Reactivate Soundwave. So that could be good. And then maybe something with functioning knees. But all in all, not too much. And again, I don't know if it's really that necessary. And I also am not sure if I want to see that missing link line continue, because then it starts clouding what, legacy and generations is supposed to be. So I think we'll pause and we will come back with my final thoughts. In or out, Ravage? In or out? I'm trying to recreate this little one panel cartoon I've just seen recently of Soundwave having to deal with the struggle of all cat owners has to feel, and that's dealing with your animal's desire to go either in or out. Um, reviewing these retro toys, it really does give me a sense of nostalgia and just remembering, where I was that first time when I opened Soundwave and playing with it and, just, enjoying the G1 Transformers, thinking, how could it get better than this? And over the years, it has. Now, to answer the question is this the best retro release of G1 Soundwave? I'm gonna say this is the best one you can get right now because two cassettes, all the accessories minus the cassette cases, and the animation accurate colors. But there's a caveat there. In my opinion, the best reissue of Soundwave was actually a San Diego Comic Con set. I don't think it had the double doors. The Classics release had the double doors. This only had a single door, but it included all the cassettes that I believe were made for Soundwave outside of the combiners. So you had Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, Ravage, Rumble, Frenzy, Rapat, and Slugfighter, the Decepticon Stegosaurus cassette, all in one set. And it was at the time, and this is maybe like 15 years ago, almost 20. Uh, it was actually under $100, if you could believe that. Unfortunately, that set goes for a lot of money now. So, and I'm very lucky to have it. So, I think you would just have to stick with this. And who knows, maybe we'll get like some little, I hope it's not two packs, maybe a nice little box set with Rumble, Frenzy, Buzzsaw, and Rapat. I think those are the ones that everyone would remember and of that nature. Especially, I think wasn't Ratbat in the movie, but yeah, definitely. If you have the opportunity, uh, this is a Walmart exclusive. I got it from Hasbro Pulse. It's sold on Hasbro Pulse as well. So definitely pick it up, especially if you don't have any other version of G1 Soundwave. This is a toy that needs to be experienced. This is a height of 1980s toy engineering. Again, at the time, this was like fantastic for what it could do. And again, in production for many years uh, after its release. So it was very popular. That's it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. I always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions, especially the likes now. I'm being told likes are being held a little more important by the YouTube algorithm than anything else. But like I said, it helps communicate to the YouTube algorithm that my channel should be exalted. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't afford the $1 a month, $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. Um, that's about it. Once again, it's your old pal Chuck for Retro 40th Anniversary Soundwave and Minions. We will see you next time. Good kitty.